Hi, hello, hey. So in this video, I'm just going to be drawing some old, Victorian dresses and filling a page in my sketchbook. I glued this mixed media paper into my sketchbook weeks ago and forgot about it. And then in my last video, I drew one of these dresses from this book. And I had so much fun, so I wanted to draw some more. Also, I always forget when Victorian stuff ends and Edwardian stuff starts, and then I didn't look it up, and the book was just calling everything Victorian, and so that was really confusing, and I was like, wait, so the dresses might technically not even be Victorian dresses, but yeah. I was a little bit confused, but I didn't feel like looking up when Edwardian fashion starts, so I don't know which one they are, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, so I decided to draw 3 outfits, or 3 drawings, I guess. And it was so funny actually because I totally forgot that I glued this page in. So I think there was bleed through or something on the other page, ink bled through, so I glued this paper on. And I was actually going to draw this outfit in Dress to Impress that I made. That's what the page next to it is. It's a different Dress to Impress outfit. And I actually kind of don't like that page. I liked it when I first drew it and it was really fun, but now I kind of don't like it. I especially don't like the drawing that's you can see, so that's annoying. Oh yeah, also, I feel like those 2 erasers that I'm using, they kind of look the same, but one of them's a kneaded eraser, and the other one's just a normal eraser, but I was watching the video and I was like, they look the same, which is funny, but yeah. And then I also have a pencil eraser that I'm using. Also, 2 of these drawings, the color schemes were super similar, and then the other one, it almost doesn't match, but I think it does. I tried to use the same markers so they would all look cohesive, but I guess I'm not there yet. Also, fun fact, I all of a sudden got this crazy urge to make a YouTube video out of nowhere. After my last one, I spent so much time on that video. I was working on it for 5 hours a day. And before that, I think it was 5 hours a day for a week, and then before that it was a couple hours a day for a couple weeks. But yeah, I don't know, maybe just working that much on a video for some reason made me want to do another one. Even though that's why I stopped doing weekly videos, because it was too much. But anyway, so I went kind of crazy working on this video. And I did most of the drawing in one day, and I was just drawing forever. And then the next day I was wow, I did all of that in one sitting. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, not even one day. I was just sitting there and I did half of the drawing all at the same time. Oh yeah, also I did this kind of confusing thing where I did the 2 on the right, the 2 drawings on the right, and then I did line art for them, and then I did the sketch of the one on the left. And that is because I thought my hand was going to smear the sketch. So that's why I did a line art on those first, and then I did the sketch for the other one. Because if I did all the sketching at the same time, I thought my hand was going to smear it when I did the line art. So I did didn't do it all at the same time. I thought about doing the sketch and then line art and then sketch and then line art for all 3 drawings, but I ended up splitting it in half. Also, you can see I put the book right next to me. I actually put my sketchbook on top of it so I could see the dresses better, because they were so small, and it was this gigantic book, and the drawings were so small, and the outfits were so detailed, so it was really hard to see the details, so I had to put it right next to me. And you can see the glare. It was also really bad with my light. I guess the pages were just really shiny. Yeah, so now I'm doing some line art, and my aunt actually gave me a couple of Copic fine liners, and I hadn't for some reason I was I don't even know, but I was like saving them for some reason. I was like, I don't know what I was like planning to do actually, but I have them on my desk and I was like, I'm gonna use these for something. I actually have a couple of the Copic fine liners already, but I didn't have the green or the blue. And I think I was like waiting to use them for a YouTube video or something. I don't know why I always do that, but if I'm planning to use an art supply, I'll just like leave it on my desk or on my table, and half of my table is like filled with stuff that I want to use. Not like new stuff like the fine liners, but just like stuff that I want to use. I don't know if anyone else does that, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna forget if I put them away, so I always do that. And I always have like a bunch of drawings I'm working on at the same time, so on the other side of the table there's just a bunch of drawings that are sitting out. I got piles. It's a little bit of a mess. Anyway, moral of the story, even though I had already used these fine liners before because I have them in a couple other colors, I was still really excited. I was really excited to use the blue one for some reason. I thought I was going to give like just a cool look. Every once in a while, I do blue line art and I feel like it looks pretty cool. But yeah, I stopped using fine liners for a long time. Like I used to use fine liners for every drawing. And then I guess I just kind of got lazy and stopped doing line art. So maybe that's another reason I didn't use them for so long. They were just sitting on my desk waiting for me to use them because I don't use fine liners that often anymore. I do like them though. I do think they make my drawings look a lot better if I do line art. But yeah, like 80% of the time when I do line art, it's just like brown or like this dark pink color or like black, you know? But every once in a while, I'll do blue or green line art, and it's really fun. So I'm excited to have these around. I want to do like a watercolor picture with these. I was actually going to use watercolors for this video. And then I was like, let me use my markers because I think that'll be quicker. I guess I'll wait to talk about my markers till we get there in the video. Yeah. Anyway, I had fun using the fine liners. And also, the Copic fine liners, I think are my favorite for putting like alcohol markers on top. They're waterproof, so they work with watercolors, and they also work with alcohol markers. And like I say in every single video I use markers, I'm still mad that my micron pens, which are like the most popular art pen, but for some reason I always have trouble with those smearing when I put markers on top. I don't know what it is. I'll wait for them to dry for like 2 days just to make sure that they're dry, and then I'll put markers on top and they still smudge. But no one I have ever I've never seen a video or anything where someone like talks about that, so I don't know if it's just me, and I don't think I used to have that problem, so I'm like super confused about that. But yeah, anyway, so whenever I use like markers first, I pretty much only use my my Copic fine liners if I'm gonna put marker over top of them, because they're like the only ones I trust now. I mean, I'm sure there's like other fine liners that work with markers, but you know, out of the ones that I have, they're the ones that I trust the most. And then here is the pink color, and I actually already have this color already, but it's my favorite, so I'm happy to have an extra. It's so pretty. I think it's in the color like wine, and I actually have like a little like bottle of ink that's mixed in that color, like acrylic ink. I don't know if the acrylic ink that I use like sells that color, so I mixed it and then I put it in a little thing. So when I do line art, I like to use that color. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. The one that I mixed is a little bit darker than the Copic one, and I kind of like it better because it shows up more. But this one is a lot more convenient than having to use a brush or a dip pen. You know, it's a lot faster. So yeah, fun facts. Also, I love Victorian fashion so much. I was drawing these and I was just thinking about how jealous I was that people used to wear these. I was like, I would love one of these dresses. It'd be so cool. And everybody I see who, like, wears this type of stuff, it's because they sewed it, you know? They, like, made it. And as someone who, like, doesn't know how to sew at all, I think that's, like, a little bit too advanced for me. Like, I feel like I definitely need to, like, start with something easier if I did do sewing. But, like, I'm probably not gonna ever do sewing, so yeah, anyway. I don't know if you can tell, it's in the middle of the night right now, and I'm very tired, but I'm not sure I have time to do a voiceover like any other time this week, so I don't even know what time it is. It's like 1:30 or something, I think, but I think it's a little bit too late for me to do a voiceover, so I'm sleeping. My brain's not working. But yeah. Anyway, I like forgot to erase the pencil under the lines till just then. And now I'm finally getting out the markers. And so I was a little overkill with the amount of markers I grabbed. And that's because the second set that I showed you is my oldest set of markers. Yeah, the swatch sheet that you can see right there. And I don't even know if Ohuhu still has that set. I doubt it. It's pretty old. It was my first set of markers, and a lot of them are like dried out. And they're pretty messed up, and the color selection is just like not that good. So when I use them, I have to use them with my other markers. So I just brought out like the rest of my ohuhu markers. But honestly, this was kind of a mess. I think I should have used my Copic markers like I was going to. I finally got refills for most of my Copic markers because they were like dried out for like years, but I finally got refills for them. And so I've been using them like, I was going to say a lot, not a lot. I use them whenever I use markers, which is pretty much like only for YouTube videos. I'm going to be honest. That's okay though. I like alcohol markers. I just don't use them that often. But anyway, I'm getting off track because I'm so tired. Moral of the story, I think I should have used my Copic markers like I was planning to. Also, that pattern on the skirt was like so hard to draw. I think it turned out okay, but I was like, how do I draw this on like the ruffly like wrinkled parts? Like I was like, how do you... I just kind of copied the reference photo, and I think that was the technique. Anyway, my Copic markers, I think Copic just has like a better selection of like more muted colors, at least like out of the ones that I have. Like I have the pastel set of ohuhu markers, but they're still like not light enough for me, and I feel like their colors are just like way too bright for me, which they actually didn't used to bother me, but I think now that I use watercolors, which are normally like not that bright, whenever I use my alcohol markers, I'm like, what is happening? Am I drawing with neon colors? Like, it always looks way too bright for some reason. But yeah, and the pictures I was looking at, the colors were a lot, like, muted. Which, okay, so I feel like when people picture, like, old-timey stuff, everything's a lot more muted. But I think that's just because, like, the pictures of it are, like, faded. But maybe also because, like, back then they had to use, like, natural dyes, so the colors probably were a little bit more muted. So I don't know. But yeah, my drawings were a lot brighter than the pictures I was looking at, and I kind of didn't like it. I really liked the muted look, but my markers were not muted at all. I didn't have any of those colors. So I feel like they just kind of looked crazy, especially on, like, the skirt that I just drew, like, the colored one. It looks like a circus skirt or something. Like, I kind of like it because I normally don't do that, like, color scheme. But, like, I wasn't trying to do that, so I don't know. Also, their hats were crazy. I, like, spent so much time drawing their hats because I was like, what is happening? I just realized I forgot to mute the videos of me drawing. So I just stopped it for a second, and you know when you like speed a video up and it sounds all like funny and like high pitched? I was like, wait, I forgot to mute this. This sounded all funny. Anyway, so I need to mute it after I do the voiceover so you can't hear that. Also, I won't give any spoilers, but I just finished reading the new Hunger Games book, The Sunrise on the Reaping, and it was so good. I really liked it. I wasn't sure, like I thought I was gonna like it, but I did like it, so I'm happy. Yeah, I don't know like what else I can say without spoiling it, but I'm gonna try. Also, this one character who was like only in that book, her name's Maisie, and she's like the mean girl, but she was like the best character. And I guess she had kind of like a redemption arc, or maybe not. The main like narrator said she did, like the main character who's like, you know, who's you can hear their thoughts, right? But it was funny because it was like, you know, like the Hunger Games where it's like all the kids have to kill each other, right? And this girl who's a mean girl was like surprisingly good at killing people. And I don't think that's surprising. Like, yeah, she's mean. Like, that was like her whole thing. But I kind of loved that for her. Yeah. I think that's all I'm gonna say. Moral of the story, she was my favorite character, which surprised me. I didn't really think I was gonna have like a favorite character, but she was definitely my favorite character. She was also like surprisingly nice too, and I was like, oh, that's nice. She was mean and nice when it mattered. Yeah, so now I got out my gouache paints, and that is because this dress, it actually had like a flower pattern, but I decided when I was sketching that it would be like really annoying to have to like color around the flowers with like such a dark color. So like I'll just add in like the roses after I color. And it worked. The line art I did so you could like see like the roses. I think I didn't use the same pen that I used for line art for some reason, which I don't think like it didn't look very good. But yeah, and now I'm doing the background. Oh, and by the way, I did like the highlights like last for some reason on this drawing. I mean, I normally do them last, but like I did it after I colored the background, which I thought was funny. Yeah, so if you didn't see my shorts, my YouTube shorts, I actually this is like handmade paint kind of, or it was actually like a blush, and then I like made it into watercolors because I wasn't gonna use it. Yeah, it was like expired, and I was gonna just get rid of it because I don't use that like shade, but then I made it into paint, and I think it's a good background color. Also, I like the sketch on the drawing on the left is like definitely my favorite, which is funny because that's like I did the other two the same day, and then the next day I did that one and I was like, oh, that one's like way better. Oops. I do think the other outfits, the other drawings, the outfits are like more interesting. Yeah, honestly, I'm like not really sure what I think about like this page. I really like the layout. I think the 3 drawings like looked really good on the page. Like the page like next to it is actually a good example of like the layout kind of like messing up, or not messing up, but okay, well now you can't see it because now my rag is like on the page, but I'm finally doing gouache highlights. But there was like this weird gap in the middle of the page to the left, and I filled it with like the bow and the flower that you can just barely see. But this page that I'm working on, there wasn't any like weird like gaps where I like didn't plan out like the drawings very well. So I think the layout is really good, but I'm not crazy about the colors. I think the markers were just like too bright for like what I wanted to do. I think the drawings are like good and the shading's like fine. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish I almost like left it just like line art, or did like some like monochrome shading where I only used like one color per drawing. Or like maybe just like didn't use the ohuhu markers because I don't know. I don't know about this page. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either, you know? But yeah, now I'm like taping it in. I did glue the page in when I put it in, but it was kind of like coming up on the corners, so making sure it's staying put. And then I also put some stickers over the tape, which honestly might need to be taped in too. I'm hoping when, like, after they're just in here, like, closed for a couple weeks, the stickers will, like, stay flat and stuff, but they're, like, not wanting to do that. Oh yeah, I was trying to think of what else to talk about towards the end of this video, and I got a great story that I feel like I should have said before I have, like, a minute left, but, I got pooped on by a goose the other day. A goose pooped on me. It was funny. I was like, I can't think of any stories that, like, interesting stories. And I was like, oh yeah, a goose pooped on me. And it, like, ruined my whole day because that's all I could think about. But yeah, it was crazy. Luckily, it wasn't on my head, but you know what was weird about that is oh yeah, here's the finished page, but I literally had a dream someone threw an egg at my head and it got in my hair, and then later that day, a goose pooped on me. And I was like, did I kind of predict the future with that one? And in my dream, I was like, well, at least it was only an egg. And then I got pooped on. Anyway, just, dropping crazy stories at the end of my video. Here's the finished page. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching. Hopefully this voiceover isn't too hard to listen to, and yeah, bye.